Let us go to the other topic, numbers and strings. Okay, numbers and strings. So we're gonna learn about numbers and strings. So in Python, we actually call Python an object-oriented language, and not it is not statically typed. So it means that we do not need to declare variables before using them. Okay. So when we write any variable, Python identifies what kind of variable it is. If it is a number variable, we will not enclose it in any single quote or double quote. But if we actually want to define a string, we need to use single quote or double quote, and preferably double quote. Okay. So let us say that we want to start with numbers. Okay, so let us say I want to write my int for my integer. So integer or floating number, आपको पता है integer is basically the whole number like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and floating numbers are decimal value numbers. Okay, so let us say my int is equal to 7, and let us say I want to write your integer. Let us say you want to give any integer. So your integer is equal to 3. Okay. All right. So if I want to print something, let us say I want to print my int. So there are two ways: print my int will print. Oh, I did not define it yet. Okay. So it will print 7. Okay. So what if we want to print it without using the print command? So we can just write the variable and run it. It will actually print whatever is stored in that variable. So I just write my int and it actually gave me 7. So what if we want to print your int? So it will basically print your int and my int together, and we want to run. So this will actually give us the most recent command, your int. Okay. What if we want to add them together, like our int is equal to my int plus your int, okay? And we want to print it. It will actually add them together. Else, what you can do, you can actually directly print inside the print function. You can actually directly give the command my int plus your int. Okay, so let us say if I write my int plus your int, what will be the output? 10, because it can directly add inside the print function. Okay, so all well so far?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us say same way if we want to define floating numbers. Okay, so let us say we want to talk about floating numbers. So let us say my float is equal to 7.51. Okay, and your float is 2.49. Okay, now if we want to print them, we can print them individually one by one, my float and your float, or we can just write my float plus your float, and let us see what it gives us. It gives us 10. What if we enclose it inside the double quote? What will happen? It will print it as it is. Okay, so please do not add double quote or single quote when you are actually talking about the variables in your print function. Okay, so we are basically talking about the value inside my float and value inside your float, and we actually want to add them together. So don't use single quote or double quote in that case. Okay, so this is how it gonna print the floating numbers. Okay, now let us go to the strings, and then we will go to conversions. Now for strings, let us say we want to talk about strings now. Okay. So a string was actually I think you already know. For example, let us say this is string equal to uh, hello. Okay, and if you want to print this, so let us run it first so that we assign the value to a string variable. Now we want to print string. Okay, so it will give us hello. Okay, again, as I said, we don't want to use apostrophe. Hello uh, isn't the only greetings. Okay, and let us say we actually want to print this. Okay, and we are using single quote. What is the problem if we run it? Can anyone suggest what is the problem in here?
So single quote.
Yes, so always prefer, you never know where you're going to use apostrophe or single quote in the form of apostrophe, so always use double quote. All right, so both single quote and double quote will work nicely as long as there is no single quote used in between the sentence. Okay, so all right, so now so as I said, we can actually add numbers, right? We can actually add strings as well. For example, we just write let us say if we actually add string 1 is equal to hello, string 2 is equal to I. Okay, let us say we want to uh, assign another variable, and we say string all, means we want to add these to string. So string, sorry, str1 plus str2. Okay, we want to make a space in between. We want to add one space between string 1 and string 2. So okay, now let us print the string all. Let us see what is in there. It says hello, hi. If I write, tell me one thing, one, or let's say my number is equal to 3. Let us say your number is equal to 5. Okay, and let us say there is another variable, name is, let us say John, and let us enclose it in double quote. Now can we add, let us say print my num plus your num. Will it work? Will it work, guys? What will be the output?
7.
5 plus 3, 7.
8.
8, 8,
Okay.
sir.
8.
Sorry.
8.
8, 8.
Okay. What if I add same here? Will it work? Now,
No, sir.
no, we cannot add number and string together. Okay, so it will not work. It will say unsupported operand type. Okay, so we cannot add integer and string. Okay, so we cannot do that. All right, but let us say these all are string. So if we enclose a number inside a double quote, so this will be added. Yeah, this should be added, right? What will happen if we write this command? Any idea? Now our
Sir,
my number is a string, that is 3. Your number is also a string 5, and name is equal to John. So these three are a string. Will that work?
yes, sir, work it.
And what will be the output, Vivek?
3 5 John.
3 5 John. This will be 3 5 John. But if we actually doesn't matter what order you did. Let us say we want to write it in this way. Okay. So what we can do, it doesn't matter while the assignment of the variable. You can actually write your name first or name first or my number first. Doesn't matter. But this is the order that is no need to be followed. So what if we actually add it in here? What will happen now? 3 John 5. Okay. So this happened because now we consider them as a string. Okay.